Neil, some unit holders are hoping for an expansion from PPFAs. Um, what are your thoughts about launching a new fund in any of the following categories? Pension fund manager of the NPS, arbitrage funds, small, mid, large cap, equity savings, Nasdaq index fund. Now the last is interesting because there is still in the overseas limit there's a separate cap for index.
So like I mentioned that as of right now, there are no plans to launch any new schemes. Obviously, like I said, if we think uh, there is some differentiation, we can do something different. We can do within that scheme. It's just not a run of the mill kind of a scheme, and if we can provide value toward the investor, and like I said, if we ourselves are excited to put our own money in it, I think that's the time to probably think about launching a scheme. So, for example, let's go back a little while back, and again, this was during the conservative hybrid fund, uh, and we were talking about it, and that time the conversation was that if we have so there are older people in our families or friends or something, and they were asking us, okay, what do I do about my retirement? You guys have just these three, but what if I do, what if I need to do my retirement savings with you guys? What should we do? So that got us thinking, and we figured out, okay, a conservative hybrid fund would be a great thing. Like, no one's really doing too much in this space, and we think that this could actually add value by not taking any credit risk and still giving decent fixed income returns, better than probably FDs and stuff like that. And people can do an SWP or systematic withdrawal after 3 years. So that's where it got started, and we thought, okay, this seems interesting and we can do it. One thing we're not going to do is just launch schemes for the sake of launching schemes. So again, we'll think through it, and if something feels that if we think that's something we need to do, we will definitely do it. So it's not like we are closed that, oh, we're not going to launch any scheme, we're just going to do this. But yeah, I think if there's some interesting opportunities that come our way and we think that we can actually add value to our unit holders doing this, then surely we will add a scheme. But as of right now, there's no plans to launch a new scheme. And sorry, you asked about the Nasdaq ETF, right? So again, I think one thing is that I think there's a 1 billion limit for the ETFs. And again, what we're hearing probably from the industry and all that, it's probably also close to getting full, or the quota will probably get over sooner than later. So I think for us, it's like, again, we've said that we are active managers and we'd want to stick to that space instead of going probably the passive route for right now. So we are okay to wait a little bit longer for RBI to probably open the limits, and I think it's probably a matter of time that the limits will be opened up. I don't know how long it will be. Like we have mentioned, me and Rajiv, that as the macros get better, macro factors get better in the world, and things start to probably get to a new normal, I think we'll probably have some opening of the overseas limit. So we're okay to wait until that happens.
On a related note, there's a question about, is PPFAS planning to offer a PMS scheme for HNI clients in the future? This goes back to the roots of PPFAS, which was a PMS at one point.
Yeah, so we still have a PMS license going. So the PMS license is there. Right now, what we are saying is that the PMS will probably start accepting money in the PMS only for NRIs or residents of US and Canada, uh, and not for anyone else. So we do have about 12 clients still in PMS, legacy clients who are American or US or Canadian based. And the reason for them, it makes more sense for them to invest in a PMS due to their tax, because of taxation and other hassles. So what we are going to plan to do is we could open it up for HNIs in HNIs in the US and Canada, and we'll stick to that because again, anyone outside that can invest in the mutual fund. There are restrictions of investing in a mutual fund from US and Canada, and we think the mutual fund is probably a better route for these people to invest into PPFAs. But in Canadian US clients, they don't have much of an option. So PMS will probably open it up for them.
So research approach is the same. The mutual fund is a far more efficient route for anyone else. Capital gains are taxed only at the time of redemption, not on each transaction that the investment team does. The annual expense ratio will be much lower in the mutual fund. So I see no logical reason for anyone apart from US or Canada residents to choose PMS over a mutual fund in our context, kind of thing. Why US and Canada, why US people should choose PMS is because otherwise they would be taxed on unrealized gains in a mutual fund on an annual basis. That's their tax law for offshore mutual funds. So it's a peculiarity. Otherwise, I think in terms of economies of scale, in terms of lower expense ratios, better tax laws, a mutual fund structure is much better for investors. That's why we are not looking at offering it to other people.
Mutual fund investments are subject to market risks. Read all scheme-related documents carefully.